Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and in these indie comic reviews I'll be covering Assassin's Apprentice Volume 3, Issue 3, and also Knights vs Samurai Issue 5. I'll now get things ready for the first one that will be reviewed. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, even looking art-wise, we have Verity, who has been given instruction to help the person that he's under to make sure that he's able to marry a certain person, but in the process he's also being asked to eliminate a certain person. So as the story advances towards the middle, he learns that one of these people that he has been asked to kill is actually a child of the royal bloodline. Not understanding and realizing that the person is a child, it sort of brings to question his morals, as if he wants to go ahead with this particular assassination or to leave it and maybe try another way. As we start to move towards the end of the story, he gets called in by who has actually asked for him, and also preparations for what is to come. For the internal art, I give it a 6.5 out of 10, as I felt it could have been slightly improved. Plus, I felt like a lot of the art was ruined by a lot of the word bubbles. It's the only way to put it. It was just a little bit too much there that was in the way of what they were trying to do story-wise. So moving into next thing, and that is the area of the story itself, as the story rating consists of time, location, and also cast. Starting with the area of time, do we know when this is taking place time-wise? Nah, we're just too effing lazy for this. I think if it was included in the story, it would probably actually improve the story quality. Next is the location, to which we learn there is the inland and I think it's the coastal regions, as well as the Buckkeep. So the Buckkeep being the very first place to which Verity was actually brought to at the beginning of the story. Next is the cast of characters, consisting of Chade, Verity, of course the princess, and also Regal. For the overall story rating, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Knights vs Samurai. So as we move into Knights vs Samurai, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give the cover a rating a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we have the knights and also the samurai communing with each other, of course, with no real interpreter. I really do wish they would sort of fix this, fix the way they've actually done the writing in this. I understand what they're trying to do, but for the English audience, it can be a little bit distracting. Like, I've got no problem with the idea of them, like using the Japanese language at all. No problem with that at all. But you could at least maybe have it written in English and say it's been translated from Japanese, like what some of the main, like DC and Marvel sometimes do. And I think that would help reach more of the English audience. And also give a slightly better perspective as to what they're actually talking about, because when you look to some of these some of the things that are being said here, with what you're trying to say, it comes off a little bit smaller than expected. So therefore, if you were to remove that and just put it in like slightly bigger text, it would highly improve the story. Or either that, or you print out 2 different versions of this particular comic run. One with it in the Japanese and one with it in the full English. Hey, you might get double the money. Who knows? It's worth a try. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we see the knights moving to a different part of this particular island outside, I think it's Japan, because the writer seems to be too lazy to tell us where this thing is taking place once again. I want to know more about this place that these characters are at. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we end up meeting up with some more, well, yokai or demon or whatever that the knights are encountering within the story. Well, if it's one thing I want to admit, the art in this I actually enjoyed a little bit more than Assassin's Apprentice, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story rating, which consists of time, location, and cast. Starting with the area of time, did we get any indication as to when this is taking place time-wise? Nah, we're too lazy to do that, because we just want to put out this product, have no real form of consistency, and we want to lose money. Next is the location. Did we actually help the audience with the location? Nah, not really. We want to lose more money once again. Though you have a really interesting story, and me, who's a part of the audience, wants to learn more about this thing. Next is the cast of characters. Well, the cast of characters that I managed to get a hold of the names of. We had Honey Puss or something like that, and Hoska, and then there's Bennett and someone else. You really need to clear up these names, because as the reader, I'm getting lost in the story, as in lost in regards to who characters are. I want to know who my cast of characters are. But for the overall story rating, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.